Hello, it's Jason. Welcome back to Hardy Life Outdoors. This is a little bit of a impromptu video. I was kind of busy this week and wasn't sure if I was going to create a video. Didn't feel like dragging cameras out here, but as I was working on this field, putting in a food plot, I decided I want to follow this field this year because I'm investing a lot in it, and I want to see what the results look like. So I decided I'd do a quick video here with my phone and just tell you what all is going on. So this is a view from the edge of the field, and I come in and out over here through the pines, but this whole field is surrounded just by thick pines and autumn olive. I never go back outside this field. So great area for deer to bed, great area for them to stage to come in here. And I've got some decent pictures of bucks coming through this field. So I'm convinced if I can put a good field in here, I can take a nice buck out of this field. I've planted this previously in Vitalize Seed, and I had mixed results. Admittedly, I put the seed down and I really didn't do the prep work that was necessary to have success. And when I say I didn't do what was necessary for success, I was really just kind of sloppy with it. If you're not familiar with Vitalize Seed, a couple buddies of mine own this business, and they are really into the science of soil. And that's where I was lazy. So I was lazy and I was cheap. They've got a two-step process. The first is planting the spring mix. And that spring mix is Nitro Boost. And the goal of Nitro Boost is to boost the nitrogen in your soil. You then follow this planting up with a late summer, July to September timeframe of carbon load. And carbon load utilizes the nitrogen that's produced in the spring in the plants that you plant in the fall. And it produces nitrogen, which will be used the following year. So it's a carbon nitrogen cycle, and something I'd never heard of until the guys at Vitalize Seed started talking about it. So this year I decided I was all in. I mentioned I planted it before. I had some success. The seed grows. It's a seed mix that's got, 12 to 15 different seeds in it. Something's going to grow. And the one thing that grew really well for me, or that the deer seemed to really like, I saw them eating, was sorghum. But when I looked at the success others were having, I was not having that same level of success. I kind of blamed it on, this is an old strip mine, and it's a tough environment. But what I should have been looking at was, did I really do the right things to be successful? So this year I started off with soil tests, and I sent those off. I paid, I think, $21 a piece for those. Then I paid to mail them off, got the results, and I immediately sent them to Al and Jared at Vitalize Seed and said, here's what I see. Help me understand what you see. Well, the reality was I kind of knew what I was looking at, but I got a lot more detail from those guys. And one of the things they will do is everybody that buys seed from them, they'll spend time with you helping you understand what you need to do. They have a dealer network that they are training to be able to do the same thing and talk soil science and how to have success in your food plots. So that was the first thing I did. So this field that we're looking at, I call this the tripod field. And the reason I call it that is when we bought it, the neighbor had a tripod stand on this in this area. So that's the name I gave it. That's the name it's got. So when I talked to Al, I sent him off my results. He came back and said, hey, I think you need about 1,000 pounds of lime back there. And I would recommend adding some Vitalize micros. And, I would tell you I know what the micros do, but I don't. I'll see if I can't find some details that I can post here. But he said mix some of those in with your lime when you spread it. There's some seed feed. There's some, I want to call it seed armor. A couple different products that he mixed in. Some I bought, some they include. One of the things the guys do is in every bag of seed, they do include some stuff to help you have success. They want you to be successful. But everything's not included because everybody's soil conditions are not the same. So, with that whole thought of follow the science. You know, you don't mix things in that you don't need. And the goal is that eventually, you know, you need fewer and fewer inputs because you're planting things that are building your soil and making healthier soil. So what I've done this weekend, I came out here, I went and bought about 850 pounds of pelletized lime. I spread that yesterday. I also spread the micros at the same time. The soil here is nice and moist right now. We've got some rain. So I decided I was gonna go ahead and plant today. So I came out and put the seed down, put in the additives that they recommended. And this field it's less than an acre, but I planted it at about the acre amount because it was broadcast seeded. And frankly, I know what turkeys can do to a field, so I expect them to come in and hit the field pretty good. After spreading the seed, and I did use a broadcast seeder for that, I then ran over it with the cultipacker. And we've got an old farm cultipacker that we bought years ago, and I used it and I ran over the field, and you know, one trip over, I'm looking, I could still see a lot of seed, and all I could think about was what the turkeys were going to do to that seed. So what I decided to do, and I'm going to show you some of the areas that didn't get cultipacked quite as well. You can see there's a lot of seed here on the ground. You know, turkeys are going to get some of this. You know, inevitably they're going to come in here and scratch and get some, so you're never going to get it all. But I drove over this field multiple times, and as I walk it now, I feel very good that I have got really good seed to soil contact. I've pressed a lot of it into the dirt well so that it'll be less visible to turkeys and other birds, and should give me, you know, a good start to success. So this field is good to go. I think the moisture in it is good. It will help the seeds germinate. We've got rain in the forecast for the next couple days, so that should also help. It is, I think it's May 5th. It's kind of early to be planting in Ohio, but the forecast is looking good. Hopefully we don't have any really cold snap. That would be a real bummer after taking the time I did, but you know, if it happens, I'll deal with it. Other thing you can see here, I do have some crab apples planted. Those are a ways off from producing for me, but you know, the goal is to make this kind of a honey hole for deer hunting. So that's what I've got in place. If you follow along through the season, I'm going to get a trail camera, try to put kind of a time-lapse series together of what this thing looks like, get pictures from, you know, each week from now till July, and show you not only what the field looks like, but how the deer are using it. So a little tip for you, or tips for you in terms of having success with food plots. Definitely check out the guys at Vitalize Seed. I don't get anything. I'm not being sponsored by them. I don't get free seed. There's nothing, no benefit to me of pitching it. It's just they're guys that I believe in with a product that I believe in, and thought I would share it if you're trying to have success with food plots. So that's the deal here on the Habitat Oasis project. Hope you enjoyed it. Keep in mind, outdoors is always in season, and I'll see you soon. Thanks.